Hello there, Aline. Alright, well done for getting this working, taking action, writing your essays. That's fantastic. It's a great way to start. So let's jump into it. Nowadays, the educational system is put in discuss. That's not the right way to phrase it. Put into discussion, but even then it's not natural. Nowadays, the educational system, as the word as before. Okay, nowadays the educational system is debated about considerably whether it works as effectively as the same way as before. So even with that sentence, we've got a little bit too many as for my liking, and it could be rephrased so much more eloquently. One way we could say is like, nowadays the educational system is often debated whether it is as effective as it used to be. You know, whether it's as effective as it has been in previous decades, years, whatever. I mean, no, that's spoken English, okay? And particularly direct questions. Let's avoid those, okay? We could even just say, like, there are numerous experts believe that numerous experts can sometimes even demand a more fun way of learning or bringing enjoyment into a curriculum, whatever. Okay, but we can't avoid the direct questions. And again, it's more like spoken English. So particularly go with the idea. I strongly agree with the idea that the world is changing and the teaching institutions should lead those changes as they form the future personalities of success in all areas. Beautiful little sentence, that. Great. Just a little bit ropey at the beginning, but apart from that, it was great. In a world full of technology, where even more in early ages we see children absorbed with their phones or TV screens, it is fundamental to take into account why is that so. Okay. The answer is because, it is entertaining. This is quite interesting, actually. It's a good style. You know, we're mixing the long sentences with the short answers. Okay. However, I am worried it's not as academic as it could be. Okay, but don't worry. Later, through the course, we're going to be implementing more academic style. Bringing fun to inside the classroom is the most intelligent way to teach. Bit of a generalization. We're going to go into more of that later as you progress through the course. Basically, we want to be hedging. When you transform a subjective subject into a practical and ludic matter, the toddlers retain the information for good. For example, a person. Okay, are we talking about toddlers? Are we talking about people? You know, mathematics wouldn't be taught to toddlers, you know, especially sums, multiplications. So this is like consistency, and it's difficult for a reader, especially examiner. You know, they're going to be on the lookout for these kind of inconsistencies. This is what negatively affects your coherence score. But again, we're going to sort out that issue in much more detail over the coming videos. For example, a person is more likely to remember about the concept of mathematics equations. We don't need the concept. We just say, remember mathematic equations like sums, multiplications, etc. Lists usually come in threes. If after the explanation they are asked to stand up and represent what they have just learned, or when someone learns about the solar system from inside an observation station facility. Okay, so I guess the gist of this paragraph is, you know, retention is greater with physical involvement, okay? But we kind of go in a little bit over here, a bit over there, a bit over there, you know? Like if we'd have just developed this idea of toddlers or a student, you know, rather than going on different subjects. The outcomes of the classical school, but that aside, the language skills are excellent. You are hearing me correct very little grammar, which is excellent. We're going to be focusing on exam skills, and those are the easiest and fastest to improve, Aline. So we're on the right track. The outcomes of the classical school system, where you have a teacher in front of the class pouring information, being proven ineffective and inefficient. Good. Different studies have shown that students forget. Again, it's a bit vague. Okay, but we'll work on that later. Forget 80% of the content they've studied 3 days after the test, and 70% of the students do not enjoy going to school because of the teaching methods and mother. Okay, we're getting, it's a bit of a list form, you know. We're going to teach you how to better construct your paragraphs. You're going to find it so much easier, so much more fun. Those are consequences of the just to educate policy. Okay, so yeah, easy to improve. Carrying such great mission, that is to bring knowledge to so many different lives, comes as a great challenge, maybe. Caring for such a great mission, maybe. Let's see. Okay, caring for such a great mission. But I think, again, this could be rephrased. It seems more of like a translation from your own language into English. In order to successfully achieve the goal, the present society should support and encourage the schools that are creative and implement entertainment in the schedule. Okay. For education is about learning and being able to contribute to a better good with that awareness, not just to get graded. Beautiful stylistic finish. Excellent work. I'm looking forward to seeing your future essays. Okay, so we definitely did well with vocabulary, lexical resource, task response, grammar's good as well. Yeah, let's just work on cohesion and coherence. It's going to be fun seeing your next essays. I'm pretty certain we're going to see a great improvement. The development of abilities and creativity are related to the process of learning. It can be stimulated in different forms. Activity and reading are just a couple of examples, and I do not think one rules over the other, as people have different personalities and respond differently. Okay, great start. Perhaps a little bit informal. Here we've got a negative construction. Later in the course, I'll show you how to use negative verbs to avoid basic negative constructions, which are more difficult to read than negative verbs. But the good thing, positive thing is like this kind of stuff is higher level, and it's an improvement, not a correction. So we're on the right track, Aline. Toddlers who have fun playing and spending time in recreation. Again, parallelism. Just another stylistic element that you'll learn near the end of the course, are more likely to create long-term memories when generalization here, so just hedge it. Actually, no, more likely is fine. More likely to create long-term memories when learning something because they are using all 5 senses. Also, science has proven that neuroplasticity in the brain, great vocabulary, brain of children who have gone through head injury is higher when compared to adults. This is due to their increased capacity of learning when they get interested. Therefore, doing pleasurable things contributes to the formation of a healthy being. Super. Again, though, if we could have an example in here, it just strengthens your body paragraph a little bit more. And also, it's a little bit on the thin side, but again, we're going to look at that in the next few modules. Another way to influence that process is by reading. When someone reads, it improves their vocabulary. Hence, they get who's the subject here. Consistency. You get better in communication, and those are key components of learning. Furthermore, reading expands expend is use up, expands is increase imagination, taking the mind to wonder and dream. These, for example, allows. This seems a little bit rushed, in all honesty, but I can understand. You've just written one task 1. The energy, the stamina left for the next one can be used up quite quickly. To summarize, enjoyable activities and reading work together in creating skills and being more creative. Okay, and reading work together and creating skills and being more creative. Super. Again, later we're going to look at ways to improve and avoid be and do, and just use more specific verbs that are richer just enrich the essay a little bit better. They are important when it comes to learning, as they act in different areas of the brain in different persons and different people is usually more common. Thus, both strategies should be used in the development of a child. Super. Okay, we're on the right track. I know these are basic essays to get going. The next one's using the structure, using the C2 template. We're going to really get going. So great work there, Aline. Keep on writing these essays and get the next one in as soon as possible. So you know the deal. Implement all the corrections that you've heard. Make a list of the mistakes and the suggestions. Write 2 new essays. In those 2 new essays, check them for mistakes made in this essay and send it all together in one email. And we'll get back to you as soon as possible. Have a super day.